Chirp
cricket?
chirp is a cricket. What is it? What sound does a frog make?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Very cheap.
Hola and welcome to beautiful Puebla, Mexico.
After an incredible few days in Mexico City, we caught an ADO bus from CDMX's Eastern Passenger Bus Terminal to Puebla. The ride was about 2 hours long, and now we're in an Airbnb with some pretty spectacular rooftop views. Home sweet home.
And today we're going to explore some of the sites here.
We chose Puebla as our next stop because of its cultural history and, of course, food. It's the fourth largest city in all of Mexico and known as the City of Angels because of the supposed involvement of angels in its construction. Another interesting thing about Puebla is that it's surrounded by volcanoes, a few of which can be seen from our rooftop. And one of them, Popocatépetl, is an active volcano that periodically spews ash all over the city.
It's a really mountainous, beautiful scenic area, and we were so lucky and excited to check it out today. We're at our first stop in Zócalo Park, and it's the main square within Puebla. It's a general meeting place, so a lot of the tours, if you do take a walking tour, they meet in this area. But lots of people just come here to have lunch. There's lots of music playing around, and it's right next to the main church, which is where we're actually going to go next in Puebla. We're at the Cathedral de Puebla, which is actually right next to the park we were just at. This cathedral was built in 1575, and it took over 100 years to construct it, which is pretty wild. The church towers are actually 70 meters tall, which make them the tallest church towers in all of Mexico. And we had a very interesting story told to us yesterday. There is a 8-ton bell that's at the top of this tower over here. And back in the day when they received it, the bishop didn't know how he was actually going to get it from floor level all the way up to the top of the tower. He went home at night and I think did some praying. An angel flew in during the night and lifted that 8-ton bell to put it at the top of the tower. And when he came to the church in the morning, he found it in its right place. We're gonna go inside. And the great thing about this cathedral is that there is no fee for entry, so you can go in for free.
Wow, that was a beautiful church, and now we're gonna go across the street to a place called Casa de la Cultura.
Casa de la Cultura is a cultural center in Puebla. It houses a museum, cinema, and most famously, the Palafoxiana Library, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. On Sundays and Tuesdays, it's free to enter, otherwise there's a small fee to get inside.
This is the Palafoxiana Library. It was built in 1656 and is the oldest library in the Americas, which is pretty cool. It has over 42,000 books, and just by the looks of them, they're quite old. So I'm really excited to go in and check it out. This thing is really cool. It is called a book wheel, and its kind of original use was similar to our concept of tabs in a browser. Basically, it allowed for multiple books to be spread out, and then as people were reading, they would just basically roll it to switch to the next books. This really helped with maintaining, I guess, economy of space when you were reading. Worked up an appetite, so now we were at Antojitos Tomy.
Antojitos Tomy is a very popular restaurant in Puebla. They're well known for their chalupas and molotes, so we had to try both. It was such an amazing meal.
Oh yeah.
Good.
The deep friedness of it, really good.
Though the salsa on one of the chalupas was a bit spicier than expected.
Here, oh my gosh, like My mouth is a little on fire. We had our tour guide tell us yesterday that she thought Indian food was way too spicy for her, like way spicier than Mexican food. I'm like, no. Mexican food's way spicier in terms of heat.
And it was incredibly cheap.
To the Alley of the Frogs. This is like the most Instagrammable street within Puebla. And its name came from back in the day when it used to flood here. A lot of frogs used to show up and chirp chirp is a cricket. What is it? What sound does a frog make?
Croak, croak.
Oh, croak, croak. When it used to flood here back in the day, you would hear all the frogs croaking in the street. And so that's why it's called the Alley of the Frogs. Today, there are a bunch of antique stores and souvenir stores along this street, so it's really fun to walk along and see all the different pieces of art here. Talavera is a technique that was actually brought over by the Spanish and has Middle Eastern influence that's used to decorate the ceramics here in Puebla. You see it around a lot of beautiful blue like dots on the ceramics, and it's very, very popular here. We just got done with the Santo Domingo church in Puebla, and oh my gosh, it is amazing.
On top of being amazing, it was completely free. Donations welcome, but totally not required. I'd use more words to describe it, but I think the images speak for themselves. We have never, ever seen such an opulent chapel. Sadly, we were losing sunlight and had to end our day here. Our time in Puebla left us wishing we had more time to explore, but enjoy the street performance and stick around for a preview of what's up next.
Wish us luck. Oh boy. Wow.